and welcome to Stories and Music with Mama Hedgehog. This is a 3 times a week stream that runs every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday with music at 7:30 each evening and a story shortly after 8 o'clock. This is the story section of our stream, and I'm very excited to pick up where we left off with a story about Lily, a little trans girl who was given a blue stone that somebody promised would lead her to her heart's desire. She has met this amazing trans woman who is sending her on 3 adventures. And the first adventure was where she went and was crowned Queen of the Fairies for a night and learned about being beautiful by being accepting of others and affirming of who they are. This is the second adventure section of the story, and we'll pick up where we left off with the woman asking Lily if she's ready for another adventure. "Oh yes," said Lily, "I would love another adventure. I'm ready." "Okay," said the woman. "You know what to do. Can you give me your stone?" Lily pulled the blue stone out of her pocket and handed it over to the woman. "Here you go," she said. "What's this adventure about?" "I can't tell you that," said the woman. "But when you get back, you can tell me." "Okay," said Lily. And the world started spinning as the woman breathed on the stone. It spun rainbow this time. Red and blue and green and purple danced together across Lily's vision. She closed her eyes and let the spinning take her until at last it stopped, and her head cleared, and she found herself standing in the middle of a very sad-looking landscape. Lily looked all around her. Everything was dead. The trees were scorched and withered, and the grass was all burnt down to the dirt, with just a few crispy shards left. Everything was black and ashy and gray and dead. It was very terrible to look at. Lily didn't know what to do, so she just started walking. She was on a path when the world stopped spinning, so she followed it. It went around a corner and up and over a hill, through the dead trees and the dead grass and the scorched earth. Lily followed the path all the way over the hill until she came to a rock standing by the path. The rock seemed to have significance, which means it seemed like it meant something. So she stopped and took a closer look at it. she said. "It looks like someone tried to write on this rock." She put her little hand up to the writing and felt it. Then she walked all around the rock. Then she came back to the writing. "That's funny," she said. "Those lines almost look like they're a door." Now, Lily was a very smart child and knew that the best way to open doors, when one finds them, is to knock. She wasn't sure if this was a door, but she thought it was worth a shot. So she knocked. The door creaked open. Creak. Lily jumped back. This had worked much better than she was expecting. She peered around the door, and there was a face peering back at her. The face belonged to a tall person with long black hair who was peering out very anxiously. "Hello, hello," said the person. "I suppose you are here for shelter and protection." "Shelter and protection?" said Lily. "Yes, indeed," said the person. "That is what most people are here for. The rest just came to have a good time." "Oh," said Lily. "No, I was just trying to find someone to explain where I am." "We can do that too," said the person. "You're in the middle of nowhere." "Oh," said Lily. "It used to be somewhere," said the person. "It used to be a great somewhere, but then the dragon came." "The dragon?" said Lily, looking nervously over her shoulder. "The dragon," said the person. "It's very terrible. It burnt up everything in its path. And it had a big path, one that circled all around and covered pretty much everything everywhere." "Oh," said Lily. "That sounds terrible." "Yes," said the person. "Come in. You shouldn't be outside. The dragon might eat you." "Oh my," said Lily. "Yes, I'll come inside then." And so she hopped over the threshold and the door swung silently shut behind her. She wondered about this because it had been so creaky and loud opening. They went down a little staircase just on the other side of the door. Down and down and down. Into a dark, narrow stone passageway. It was very cold and damp, and Lily shivered as they went down underneath the earth. At last they came out into a great open room at the bottom of the staircase. Lily blinked and looked around. There was firelight, warm and orange and flickering, filling up the space. A great hearth burned in the middle of the room, with many little hearths all around. And there were people everywhere, scuttling about and attending to business. the person who had opened the door brought Lily to an old person sitting on a chair by the great hearth in the middle. "Here's someone," said the person. "Someone wants shelter from the dragon." "Hello, child," said the old person. Lily looked up at them. "Hello," she said. "I don't know anything about this dragon." "That's funny," said the person, "because you should." "I should?" said Lily. "Yes, indeed," said the person. "You have its wisdom stone. I can feel it in your pocket." "I have its what?" said Lily. "Its wisdom stone," said the person. "Why do you think the dragon is behaving this way?" "I don't know," said Lily, "and it's not the dragon's wisdom stone I have in my pocket. It's my stone." "Yes, maybe," said the person. "But it's also the dragon's wisdom stone. Can you show it to me, child?" Lily was feeling very disgruntled, which means not happy and kind of grumpy and put out. But she pulled the stone out of her pocket and held it out on the palm of her hand. The person bent over a little bit and peered at the stone. "Yes," said the person, "that's precisely it. Do you know what you must do, child?" "What I must do?" said Lily, feeling very anxious. "What you must do. You have the wisdom stone. That means you have been chosen." "Do people choose kids for big things?" said Lily. "Sometimes, when magic is involved. But never underestimate children. Y'all are very powerful," said the person. "But I should tell you what you must do. Do you know what is happening here?" "No, I know there's a dragon," said Lily. "Yes, there's a dragon. And it has been rampaging, which means behaving very destructively, which means tearing apart a lot of things and making a huge mess," said the person. "This dragon has been doing this for some days and some nights. Oh, we believe it is because it has lost its wisdom stone. It doesn't know how to behave anymore. We have been hoping that someone would find its wisdom stone so they could give it back to the dragon. Now you have come along, and you have the wisdom stone. That means you are the only one who can give it back to the dragon." "Oh," said Lily. "But how do I know the dragon won't eat me?" "There's no guarantees," said the person, "which means I can't make any promises. But I can tell you that dragons love to sleep during the day. And this one is no exception, except when it's out on a rampage. If I were you, I would try to give it back its wisdom stone while it's asleep. The only reason a dragon will wake up is if someone takes something from its treasure hoard. while it's sleeping. You can't kill a dragon, pretty much, while it's asleep. It's all covered in scales, so it doesn't have to worry about that. So just don't take anything from the treasure hoard and sneak back the wisdom stone to the dragon, and you should be fine. But where is the dragon? And what if something bad happens? Asked Lily. Something bad is already happening, said the person. Did you see what the dragon did to our land? We're going to have very little food this winter as a result. We can survive, but not if the dragon keeps on destroying everything around. We need you to help us. Lily thought for a minute. She was very brave, but this scared her a lot. But she looked all around at all the people in the place and saw that some of them were watching her, and that some of them looked very sad and very hungry and very tired. It's not easy hiding from a dragon. At last, Lily looked back up at the old person and squared her shoulders. I'll do it, she said, but you need to tell me how to find the dragon. Just follow the path that you came to us on, said the person. It will lead you up a mountain to the dragon's cave. There you will find it sleeping on its treasure hoard. Okay, said Lily. Do I have to go by myself? I'm afraid so, said the person. So Lily and the black-haired person that had brought her in went back up the stairs, and the person said a spell over the door and opened it for Lily, and Lily slipped out. The country looked even blacker and more burnt up than she remembered, and she shivered, thinking that maybe the dragon had been through there just a few minutes ago. She walked along the path that had brought her to the rock. She walked and walked for a very long way until she came up over a hill and saw a little mountain just on the other side of the next valley. Lily looked up at the mountain and thought she saw a dark shape at the top that could have been an opening into a cave. She shivered and kept walking. It took her a long time to get to the mountain and to climb it. But Lily was strong, and she could walk a far way. She did it a lot at home. Even so, her feet were hurting by the time she reached the mountain, and the stones felt pokey through her shoes. She climbed and she climbed. Her sweat dripped down her face, and she kept reaching into her pocket and clutching the stone. It will be asleep, she said. The dragon will be asleep. She kept climbing the mountain, up and up and up. The mountain seemed to go on forever. The stones were black and burnt all up the mountainside, and she could see ash where little plants and grass had once grown. There were no trees, just larger heaps of ash some places on the mountainside. It was not comforting at all. Lily kept climbing up and up, following the path, until at last she came over the ledge of a plateau on the mountain and found herself looking straight into a cave opening. She looked back the way she had come and wondered if she could run all the way back to the rock with the door and not look back and not think about the dragon ever again. But then she remembered the sad and tired people in the cave underneath the earth. And she thought, I can do this. I can be brave for them. So she crossed the plateau, which is a little flat place on a mountainside, and went right up to the cave mouth and looked inside. And do you know what she saw? She saw a glow. Crimson, with golden flickers running through it, deep in the heart of the cave. If you have ever seen a dragon sleeping, you will know that she was seeing its ember fires, the last remnants that never go out even when it's deep asleep. Lily was very frightened. She could feel hot air rushing out of the cave to meet her every time the dragon breathed. But she set her jaw and she marched inside the cave. And there was the dragon. It was stretched out huge and green and gold and black, shimmering softly in the light of its own fire. It was curled around a ginormous heap of precious metals and stones, and it was sleeping on them. Lily saw the dragon, and the only thing that made her keep going was that she was pretty sure the dragon had seen her, and she had to see this through, or else it would eat her anyway. Despair is a huge motivator sometimes. She kept walking. She walked right up to the dragon's head, being careful to stay out of the line of its breathing, so as not to get hot air right in her face. She climbed up on the treasure hoard and came right up to the dragon's face. It was sleeping with its jaws slightly apart, breathing deeply and evenly. Just then, her foot caught on a piece of the treasure and dislodged it, which means pulled it out of place. She stumbled and fell down on her knees beside the dragon's head. And as she was reaching for something to hold on to keep herself from falling, she accidentally picked up a cup from the treasure hoard, and the dragon woke up. It opened its great eyes and looked at Lily. "What are you doing in my cave?" said the dragon. "I came to give you a present," said Lily. "Why are you stealing my stuff?" said the dragon, looking not at all convinced. Because I had to put it in the cup to give it to you, said Lily, and she quickly dropped the stone into the cup. Here you go, she said, holding out the cup to the dragon. The dragon looked a little mystified. What trickery is this? It asked. No tricks, said Lily, feeling guilty. Just a present. If you swallow it, it will make you feel amazing. Said the dragon. And it looked inside the cup. Then it looked at Lily. How about I swallow you? Said the dragon. I bet you would make a great lunch. Oh no, I wouldn't, said Lily. Not at all. I'm not tasty. Said the dragon. And then it threw back its head and laughed. It laughed and laughed. And just as it was getting finished, it decided it would laugh some more. Bright fire poured out of its jaws. Lily stood up and flicked her wrist. Something small and blue flew out of the cup and down the dragon's throat. The dragon stopped mid-laugh and coughed a little, and then swallowed. Whoop. There was a long pause. The dragon stopped laughing. Its great golden eyes looked at Lily and looked and looked, and then it blinked. And it said, "Thank you. You gave me back my wisdom stone, didn't you?" Yes, I did, said Lily, when you were laughing. Thank you, said the dragon, and it looked very sad. I've done terrible things, haven't I? It said, looking out of the mouth of its cave at the burnt landscape outside. I'm afraid so, said Lily. Are you sure you're better? Yes, said the dragon. But is there something I can do for you? Just say thank you. You can... I don't know, said Lily, suddenly feeling very sad. That was my favorite stone, and now it's gone in your tummy. The dragon looked at her. Then it bent its great head down and blinked 3 times. And when it blinked the 3rd time, a tear rolled down its face for all the things it had done without its wisdom stone. And when the tear fell into Lily's outstretched hand, it formed something warm and smooth and round and familiar. And looking down, she saw her stone. Oh no, she said, you need it back. No, said the dragon. This is your stone. The other was mine. This one I can give to you. And the dragon said, Now it's time. The world started to revolve. Crimson and gold danced around Lily's eyes. And with a whirl and a twist, she was back in the cave with the green and the burgundy curtains looking up at the woman. And the woman was smiling down at her. "You did it," she said. "I'm so proud of you. I was really worried. You know I wouldn't have let the dragon hurt you, right?" "Oh, really?" said Lily. "Nobody mentioned that part. It was very scary." "I was watching over you the whole time," said the woman. "What did you learn?" "Don't know," said Lily. "I learned that dragons are really scary." "That's fair," said the woman. "Did you learn anything about being brave?" "Yeah, it sucks," said Lily. "I had to give up my stone and I thought I was never going to have it back again." "But you did get it back, right?" said the woman. "The dragon gave one to you." "Yes," said Lily. "So maybe that's what you learned," said the woman. "That I always get my stone back?" said Lily. "Well, in this case, yes. I'll never let you lose your stone," said the woman. "But sometimes giving things up is really hard. But when you're brave and you do good things for other people, most of the time it works out in the end. Sometimes not. But you get the good thing of having done something good for someone else, even if it hurts and even if you have to give things up to do it." "I'm very proud of you," she said. "I'm sorry lessons are so confusing." "That's okay," said Lily. "Can I go on the last adventure?" And that's where we'll leave them for tonight. If you'd like to hear the rest of the story, you can check back in a little after 8 o'clock this Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us.